Well, hello, Winnie, Cleo, Sterling, Roman, and James. Okay, I would love, L-O-V, so I would love to read you a story today. Let's see. One story today, read by me. I hope that today you are being good to your mom and dad. Dad. And that you will listen to what they say today. If they tell you to go to bed, or if they want you to take let's see, what could they ask of you? If they want you to take 2 of your toys or put them away, and they want you to not eat too much candy. So those are things they might ask of you today. Or they might ask you to go upstairs to get something, or maybe you would have to go downstairs to get something for them. Or you could have to go outside, or you could have to go inside to get something. Let's see. But no, you do not have to take the dog for a walk, even though he is little and you are big. So, let's see. I am going to now read a story. We were reading stories about super pets, and then I put in a story about Scooby-Doo. It was kind of a long story, but yes, today we are going back to reading about super pets. So, what, W-H-A-T, what is this book, it is a story about, A-B-O-U-T, about the super pet Proty. That's its name is Proty. And it's called Super Pet Showdown. So they got the green Ignatius guy. He's a bad guy. Kanga's a good girl. We've read about her already. This Half Hidden is Crypto. We haven't read this monkey book yet. Maybe we'll find one of his books at the library. Okay, so here's a picture of the superheroes and their pets. And here's the villains and their pets. So, Super Pet Showdown is the name of our book today. The other way. The sun is maybe a little too bright for that. Okay. So today, the book is starring Proty and the Legion of Pets and the Legion of Super Pets. There are 3 chapters: Pet Sitting, Glob of Goo, and Face Off. So let's talk about who Proty is. Proty's a good guy. He's a mind reader, and he's a shape shifter, meaning he can change into different shapes. After traveling to a planet in the entire system, Chameleon Boy adopted Proty as his protoplasmic pet. We don't know how old he is. Oh, but his favorite food is marshmallows. That's cool. Now, here are the bad guys. There is Ignatius, who's a pet of Lex Luthor. Artie Puffin, the pet of the Penguin. Roz is a pet of Catwoman. And then we have Crackers is a pet of Joker. And Giggles is a pet of Harlequin. So here they are in their size. Proty is kind of small. And we go all the way up here to Crackers. And then we have Kanga's kind of big of the horse, but then they go all down in size. So our first chapter is pet sitting. Inside the Hall of Justice, Streaky curled up on a ball on Supergirl's chair. He and his friends were keeping an eye on the Justice League headquarters. Meow, wake me if anything goes wrong, the Super Cat told the others, with a yawn. The world's greatest heroes didn't often leave the Hall of Justice in the paws of pets, but they had been called to a meeting aboard their secret satellite. However, the animals they left in charge were not just any pets. Look at these animals, huh? They're super pets. They were the Legion of Super Pets, and today the headquarters was their own kennel of justice. Batman, Superman, and the other heroes had been gone for a few hours. So far, everything was quiet enough for a cat nap. Go ahead and snooze, Crypto barked at the sleepy cat. I can handle anything that goes wrong. I have all the powers of Superman. The super dog aimed his freeze breath at a plate of Kanga's food. Look at that. He blew on it, whoosh, and he froze her food. He had turned the food frosty white. Jumpa, Wonder Woman's amazing Kanga, was not so thrilled with her frozen meal. She snorted. You're not the only super pet in the Legion, Kanga reminded him. I'm as fast as Wonder Woman, and zoom, to show her skills, Jumper ran 4 laps around the Kettle of Justice in no time at all. Woo! She ran really, really, really fast. That's nothing, Comet whined. You should see how high I can fly. The super horse prepared to fly out one of the windows. At that moment, Proty, the smallest of the Legion of Super Pets, spoke up. There's Proty. We all have superpowers, Proty reminded the pets. There's no need to show off. Well, don't know if I'd call your powers super, Proty, Crypto joked with his friend. Ploop! Proty slumped down and looked like a puddle with an antenna coming out of his head. His feelings were hurt. Oh, it's true, he thought. I'm just a glob of goo. Proty didn't have flashy powers like the other pets. He wasn't super fast or super strong. He couldn't melt or freeze anything. Sure, Proty could change into other things and read thoughts, but he didn't find those powers very exciting. Wishing he could hide, Proty made himself look like a plate of food. He tried not to read what the others were thinking, but he couldn't help it. Proty sensed that they all felt a little sorry for him. None of them believed he would be of any real use if he ever came upon danger. "Don't worry about it, Proty," said Ace, the Batman's hound. But Batman's dog detective didn't have a chance to cheer up his bloody, blobby buddy because, whoop, 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 whoop. Suddenly an alarm sounded in the kennel. It was coming from the Justice League computer. The pets gathered around the screen. This was a real emergency. With the superheroes in space, the pets needed to take care of it themselves. Images flashed on the screen along with a plea for help. Poachers were capturing kangaroos and wallabies by the hundreds. The animals were in danger. Instantly, Kanga, who, look, she's a kangaroo, Kanga and Champa leapt to the rescue. Almost as soon as Champa had gone, the alarm went again. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Another call for help was coming in. This time, a giant storm off the coast of Maryland was threatening to sweep herds of wild ponies out to sea. With a whinny and a snort, Comet tossed his white mane and took off. Whoosh! Then another alarm rang. Whoop, whoop, whoop. This call sounded as bad as the other. Hurricane floodwater had stranded thousands of pets on the roof of buildings. Someone didn't fetch them to safety. They could starve. All over the globe, animals seemed to be in trouble. Crypto, Ace, Streaky, and the others didn't wait to help the pets in trouble. They prepared to fly off at once. "You're in charge, Proty," they said. With their capes and their tails flying behind them, the furry heroes were off. For whoosh! And Proty was all alone. That's the end of chapter 1. Here's chapter 2. Glob of Goo. Proty let out a heavy sigh. He was finally in charge, but he had nothing to do. He wanted to help the others. However, since he couldn't fly, his only responsibility was sitting by the computer and waiting. With everyone gone, the kennel of justice was surprisingly quiet. No pets were showing off. Alarms weren't ringing. All was well, or was it? Proty's powers were few, but he could sense things. And suddenly, he felt that something wasn't right. Sploosh! The gooey do-gooder melted into another puddle on the floor. A bad feeling came across him. Proty wondered if the rest of the pets had been right. He was not very super. Maybe, Proty thought, all I am is a spineless superhero. Just then, Proty started to shiver again. The shape-shifting super pet was picking up on something evil. In fact, he was picking up on more than one troubling tingle. He was sensing a whole herd of havoc. Whammo! Suddenly the door of the kennel blew open. Oh, look, I see the bad guys at the door. To avoid being seen, Proty quickly changed into the shape of a chair. That's Proty. Then he spotted the legion of villain pets. Proty said to himself, the evil animals have come to take over the Justice League headquarters. Oh no, Proty. Look at these bad guys. There's Ignatius and Crackers and Puffin and Roz. Oh, bad guys. The cat's away, Ignatius said. And the dogs, too, he laughed loudly. Ignatius was Luke, Lex Luthor's sidekick. Greedy and mean. He's greedy and mean. But most of all, he simply hated Streaky Crypto and anything super. Not every cat is away, purred Roz, the evil Catwoman's favorite feline. After all, I'm a cat, and I'm here and ready to play. With a graceful leap, she landed on Ace, the Bat Hound's favorite chair. Look at that. She jumped up on the Bat Hound's chair. She doesn't know this is Proty. So, wing! Roz revealed her razor-sharp claws, and she shredded wildly at Ace's chair. How she would love to sink her claws into that Bat Hound. Gulp! Proxy looked on with fear. Ooh, this is kind of scary. As more villain pets entered, Proty stayed quiet, and he spotted the Joker's hyenas, Giggles and Crackers. Giggles and Crackers. Artie the Penguin's Puffin and the brains behind the Bad News Birds was there too. Getting rid of those silly super pets was a piece of cake, Ignatius said. That's Ignatius. He's a bad guy. Meow, purred Roz. Those flying flea bags took to the sky the second they got those phony phone calls. There weren't those real emergencies. They made them up. The evil guys made them up. Huh. Prank calls are hilarious, Giggles said. Prank calls is when you call with something that's not true to tell them. They thought it was funny to tell them there were emergencies going on when they really weren't. Maybe it was too easy, Artie said, when he snapped his beak. Ignatius scratched his scales. The bird brain is right, he said. Spread out and make sure we're all alone. Ha ha ha, we don't take orders, Joker's hyenas said. Quiet, you two, shouted Roz. You're not in charge here. Nearby, Proty could read the evil cat's thoughts. Roz didn't like being bossed around. Without another word, the villain pets spread out on all directions and checked every corner of the hall. Only Artie stayed behind. He had a bird brain plan of his own. They still don't know this chair is Proty. When the others were gone, the evil Puffin moved towards the trouble alert computer and sat down, right on top of Proty. Oh, the squishy super pet said, but luckily Artie was so busy he didn't notice. He didn't notice that his seat was slimy. He snickered through his colorful beak and punched the high-tech computer button. Proty focused on the bird's thought. He needed to find out what the Puffin was thinking. Using his mind power, Proty quickly got the scoop. His protoplasm ran cold. The villain pets were not just taking over the hero headquarters, they were planning to bring down the entire Justice League. And Artie wanted all the credit. The villain pets were going to use the Justice League's own technology against them. So far, everything was going according to plan. First, they had herded the heroes to a single target, the satellite. Now, see, all the heroes were in the satellite. Now, they planned to pull the satellite out of orbit and send it crashing into the Earth. Oh, Proty couldn't let that happen. The spineless super pet might not be as super as some, but he had been left in charge, and he was going to do his duty. At the end of Chapter 2. Chapter 3 is Face Off. Artie, the villain Puffin, finished setting the computer. He stood and placed his flipper over a big red button. It would pull the Justice League satellite out of orbit and send it towards here. Bye-bye, shouted the bad bird. Without a moment to lose, Proty changed into a copy of Catwoman's evil Siamese cat, Roz. So that's really Proty, but he's pretending to be Roz. Hold on there, Puffy, the fake cat said. Artie said, Roz, where did you come from? Never mind that, replied the copycat. I'm here now, and I'm in charge of pushing the button. Artie's feathers ruffled. Who says? He said, I want to do it. Neither of you are pushing that button, Ignatius said, walking in. Oh, he's gotten in the fight. Who gets to push the button? Ignatius says, I'm the boss. Oh, no way, Giggles barked. And the hyenas were back in as well. So they came back in. They're all fighting over who's going to push that button. Yeah, there are two of us, so we're in charge, said the hyenas. Never, you're a pack of clowns, said Artie. While the villain pets argued, Proty snuck over to the computer and sent a message to the super pets. And then he reprogrammed the computer while they were all fighting and not seeing what was going on. He was over there reprogramming the computer. Hey, can't get away from that, said Prissy Paws. Get away from there, Prissy Paws. I'm in control, said Ignatius, because he had spotted the cat at the computer. Hey, who are you calling? Who are you talking to, Lizard Lips, said the real Roz. Remember, Proty was a fake Roz. Okay. Said Ignatius as he stared at Roz, confused, and then he spun around and looked. The computer seat now was empty. In the spot where he had thought he saw Roz, there was nothing but a puffin feather. Maybe we should all just chill out, said Artie. The evil bird pulled a pair of ice dice from under his wing. The dangerous weapon clattered on his flippers. If the dice hit the floor, they would freeze whoever was closest. Oh boy, what's going to happen? Well, Artie's right, said Giggles. We can all use a good laugh. Knock, knock, Cracker said, following his partner's lead. Who's there? Artie replied. The end of, Giggles said. The end of who? Asked Puffin, shaking his dike. The end of you, the hyenas said together, and they were laughing now, and they were snarling and drooling and ready to attack. But whoosh! Woof, woof! The wild animals leapt just as Artie threw the dice, and the mangy beast froze in midair and fell to the ground. Crackle! Yow! Roz said, jumping to a higher perch. Things are getting ugly. Ignatius saw his chance. The lizard lunged for the big red button. He wanted to take down the Justice League all by himself. Leaping lizards, shouted Artie, spotting Ignatius, and he quickly rolled the dice and then crackle! The evil iguana froze like a popsicle. Just you and me now, Roz said. Not quite, a voice interrupted. Roz and Artie spun towards the entrance of the room. In the doorway stood the members of the Legion of Super Pets. Well, not exactly the whole heroes. It was just Proty in disguise. So Proty, look at that. They looked over and Proty had made all of the superhero pets look like they were standing in the door. But really, it was just Proty. I thought we took care of them, shouted Artie, the cold-hearted bird, who was looking at them in fear. Oh, no matter, said Roz. They're too late to save the Justice League. Whoosh! evil feline leapt into the air and landed on the computer and hit the big red button with a big click. Wham! Instead of taking down the satellite, the entrance to the room slammed shut. Proty's plan had worked. At that moment, Crackers, Giggles, and Ignatius started to unfreeze. The troublemakers were ready for a fight. Well, well, said Roz. Looks like the perfect matchup. I hope you're ready for a Super Pet Showdown. Wrong again, the Super Pet said. It's time for a lockdown. Suddenly, the Super Pets merged back into Proty. The Smiley's hero smiled, changed into liquid, and flowed under the door of the room. A short time later, Crypto, Ace, Streaky arrived back at the hall. When they saw the gang of pets Proty had captured, they could hardly believe their eyes. Jumper and Comet were impressed too. Good job, Proty, Crypto said. Looks like you're pretty super after all. Speed and power aren't everything, Jumper agreed, and Comet nodded. Proty smiled. The gooey do-gooder could read his friends' thoughts, and on their faces they were all proud of him. He felt pretty proud of himself, too. So he was the hero of our story today, because he captured all the bad Super Pets. That's the end. So, here's another picture of our heroes. We've read about several of these already. And here are the bad guys. Who did we have? This would be this one and this one. This one. Her. Yeah, we saw a lot of the bad guys today. Okay. Let's see. Meet the author. No, we don't need to know that. Word power, antenna. They use the word antenna today. What is an antenna? It's a feeler on the head of an insect or an alien. Duty means something you must do. Headquarters is a place where a group or organization is run. Justice means being fair. Poachers are people who catch animals illegally. Prank is a trick. Responsibility is a duty. And a satellite is a spacecraft that is up in the air, far from the Earth. Those words were used today. All right, here's a... I'm going to look for some more of these books. We haven't read all of these yet. But that's our story for today with our super pets and our superheroes. So I hope you guys enjoyed it and are having a wonderful day. Love you all. Bye-bye.